Are we back?
I think we might be back.
Ooh.
I think we're back.
Oh,
We did the thing.
hey.
We did it. We did it. We did it. Hey, one thing's going right today, so that's cool. Welcome back, everybody. This is Beard Laws Podcast, episode 195, using fancy words, unveiling the unwritten bro code. You guys want to know how I came up with that title?
Did you write it?
No. Well, I mean, I wrote it in, but guess who came up with that? AI.
No.
AI came up with the title.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a certain company out there. I'm not going to say it because they're not a friend of the show or whatever. Cool company. A lot of people use them for their YouTube and stuff like that. And they have this new feature, and it just says "Ask Anything." So I said, "Can you come up with a more creative title?" And then they said, "Unveiling the Unwritten Bro Code." And I was like, "Yeah, that's fucking better than mine. I just put bro code." So AI is already taken over this podcast. Within a couple of weeks, it'll just be what appears to be us. And they're just going to do all the talks and voicing and stuff for us. So it's going to be pretty good. And for anybody just listening, shout out to the Deluxe Edition Network.
Yeah.
Big fans of those guys. They're pretty awesome. There's going to be some new podcasts of the month coming up in 2 days. But right now, the current podcast of the month, Barrel Age Chicks, the Deep Dark Secrets podcast. Some good shit. Check them out. Check them all out. There's like 25 different shows on there. We're thankful to have Triple T and the Beard Law Show, as long as Triple T's still going. If you see it in a couple of weeks where it's, you know, Titty Talk Tuesday or something else, there's going to be a reason behind it. But we'll get into that at some point later. But the voice you're hearing, that's
I'll say it.
No, don't do it.
Tell
No,
him about it.
We'll talk about it later. It's kind of like when Pat McAfee was getting sued by Brett Favre and he just kind of let it go for a little bit. We're going to see how things shake out. Maybe Tuesday we get real fired up. But either way, and I know it's a sensitive subject for Toby as well, and I talk way too much. So obviously this is Matt Beard Laws. We have Toby in the house. We have Zac in the house. We have Brandon in the house at about 40% lung capacity, which I'm not a doctor, but I just played one time in a play. That's a lie too. And we have Richie. What's up, fellas?
And this is the Your Town podcast.
Dude, I tell you what, the people the help desk that I work for, my portion of the help desk is out of Columbus, Indiana.
Oh,
that's the second best Columbus.
Not only were these guys sitting on an air quality index of like 240 over the last 2 days, but today they just get slammed with tornadoes.
I cleared up the air.
Yeah, at like 4:30 in the afternoon, me and one other person were the only two people running the help desk.
Wow.
Every call coming in, I'd get off a call, phone would ring. I'm like, son of a bitch.
That's brutal. How's
the other person wouldn't log into the phones. Fuck you, Zac.
Nice.
I hope you were watching this, you piece of shit.
I am.
Oh, other one. You know what? He's probably a Zach. He's probably a Zach.
Yeah, he's Zach. Z-A-C-H.
Yep. Zach.
Well, according to one of my favorite bands, ZAC does not spell Zach. So what the fuck is up with that? So,
have you ever heard of a Zac with Z-A-C-K-K?
I've seen Z-A-C-K and I've seen Z-A-K-K and I've seen Z-A-K. I've never seen Z-A-C-K-K.
Or maybe I heard it was
Z-A-K-K.
There was two K's in it of a name that I heard. He had a good beard and
like Zac
I'm
Wild,
down here in North
lead singer
Carolina. I know
guitarist,
plenty of. I'm in North Carolina and I've met plenty of Zacs that have 3 Ks, but it's not really part of their name.
That's different.
Just
okay.
Yeah.
What if you spelled Zac X-A-C?
Then your parents need to be drowned in a shallow pool.
Well, wait a second. Let's wait until National Signing Day this year. I'm sure there's going to be some outrageous shit like that. So
that's like an XFL name.
Yeah, Zac spelled X-A-C. He's a commit to fucking Central Tennessee State or some bullshit like that.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Not going to Roll Tide.
Speaking of the XFL, there's going to be a couple of players that were playing for the Indianapolis Colts that are probably going to be in the XFL because they're probably done in the NFL because they bet in football on their own team.
The betting guys.
Rumor has it, I don't know, and this is source, Pat McAfee show, that there was talks that they were betting on the under yards from their own running back. Which that's more or less saying like you suck. And I mean it was Jonathan Taylor in a down year, but that's not a good look for them. And I have to imagine the NFL is going to make a thing, not only suspended, probably banned, and no team's going to be like, come on over.
Not to mention the fact if you're betting on an under, there's a chance that you've spoken with your running back and been like, hey man.
Yeah.
So we got some money in it for you if you just kind of lay kind of low.
kind of has to follow suit because the UFC threw down hard on inside track gambling from participants. I mean, very fucking hard. Ended multiple careers over a single infraction. So
looking like an Olympic badminton first round. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you have to research it. It's fucking hilarious. It's hilarious.
People throwing badminton games?
Yeah,
pickleball.
Because no, I'm not lying. So
why trying to gas me up?
So the way that they had set up badminton was, if you perform badly, you get put kind of like into a lower tier, and your matches are a little bit easier. So you've got these really good teams who are intentionally blowing games, but the problem is other really good teams were having the same idea, and just it was obvious what was happening. Like if you go back, if you research it, there's a whole YouTube video about it. It's not very long, but if you go watch it, it's hilarious watching these guys you're talking the best of amateur sports, right? Is the Olympics. You got these Olympians looking like 5-year-olds playing badminton in the backyard. They're playing so horribly just to throw it. It's two like top teams like fucking just being horrible.
There was a big charity event. I don't know if it already happened, but there was 4 legendary. I think it was a 2-on-2 pickleball game. Who was I'm drawing a blank, and this is going to be embarrassing, but he's a tennis player. Fucking very out. McEnroe? Yes,
I was going to say Andre Agassi.
Well, I think Agassi and somebody were taking on McEnroe and somebody in a 2v2 charity pickleball, and I don't know when it was supposed to take place. They were talking on the Pat McAfee show a while ago. I'm sure it already did, but I think it was Agassi and Roddick versus McEnroe and somebody.
McEnroe, and I can't remember the name of the really old guy, like the much older guy that plays in like all the doubles tournaments and stuff. He is fucking hilarious, and he's good, like good. Like,
he Michael Chang.
Well, so Chang and Agassi and Roddick, Andy Roddick, right? Isn't that what his name is?
Yeah, it was Andy Roddick, Michael Chang, McEnroe.
Those were the big names in the 90s. Like when I was like a teenager, the number of girls that had a thing for Andre Agassi when I was growing up was unbelievable.
John McEnroe ended up in an Everlasting.
Andy Roddick is from Nebraska. He's a Cornhusker. And I'll tell you what, he was very good as a youngster, right around 7, 8, 9 years old. Then as he and his family knew he was going to be really good at tennis, they moved him to Florida. He was good, and I hear he was also Andy Roddick.
Oh, I see what you did there.
I didn't.
Just for anybody, I did find the article. McEnroe, 64 years old. Michael Chang's 51. Roddick is 40, and Agassi 52. They felt the need to throw the ages in, but Agassi and Roddick apparently earned $1 million prize after they beat McEnroe and Chang in a winner-take-all doubles match, 21-15, 21-23, 12-10.
I don't know if those are crazy scores or not.
I don't know.
Would have been you know what though? I don't know if you guys have seen professional pickleball. When I heard about it, I was like, this is fucking professional. This is something we did in gym class. Bro, those fucking games are wild.
Fuck off.
And if anybody wanted to know, McEnroe beat Agassi in singles 15-13, 16-14. And Roddick crushed Chang 15-10, 15-10 in single matches. So that was in April in Hollywood. There's a Hollywood, Florida.
Mm-hmm. There's like
Florida steals it all.
There's I can't remember. It was some catalog that I got when I was a kid, but there's like a number of Hollywoods like all around the country, and that's like a Great American road trip thing to hit like every Hollywood. It's like a planned out road trip that people used to take back in the days.
I'm not going to show this because we have an issue showing things, but Zac's in studio, and just if you guys look, you can look on the Pickleball Slam on the Twitter page, and McEnroe just going hard in the boys. It's April 2nd, 2023. So pickleball.
See, now I'm going to spend half my night tonight not being able to sleep because I'm up watching fucking professional pickleball on YouTube. I'm going down a pickleball and badminton rabbit hole. I can fucking feel it.
You know what?
I will not be doing that, but I very well could go back down my highlight rabbit hole that I went down the other day because that was a deep one.
I spent the entire probably day and half of yesterday watching nothing but World Championship Tetris, And let me tell you,
it's engaging.
It is wild. And there's a documentary about it. And
Yep.
just really funny and really good.
It's intense watching that.
Have you seen the guys that play Tetris with a SNES controller and they like just bump it off their thigh?
Yeah.
Like I don't understand it, but those are allegedly the best fucking Tetris players in the world. These guys that like, I don't know, they just like fucking play the spoons on their thigh with an SNES controller, and they're fucking wicked good at Tetris.
I love Tetris, but what game I love too a little bit more was Dr. Mario. Mario.
Yes, with the pills and you spin them around. Hell yeah,
That's pretty fun.
hell yeah.
You guys ever play that? No.
I have. Yeah.
Toby's like, no, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
He was in Bosnia.
Possible.
Let's see. Let's check the date because I'm typically right.
I mean, you're typically right, and you're also not fact checked because that's what you do. But either way, he's gonna look at that, and yeah. Richie, what's up, man? How's the Jet podcast going with the brother? I've been watching it. I've been throwing some thumbs up.
It's actually going pretty good. And fun thing was I asked my brother, I was like, what do you think our dad's gonna think when he sees this? Because we shit on our dad a lot in the podcast.
It's true.
A little bit. And he's like, oh, Dad will never find this. Dad doesn't know how to work YouTube. And I was like, well, what if he does? And he goes, so I don't care. And I'm like, cool, just so you're on the same page with me, just make sure. So my dad calls me up this morning and he's like, hey, how do I find that on YouTube? I want to watch y'all's podcast.
You're
I was like,
no, the fuck you don't.
I was ready for it. I was like, okay, here it is. Jet, just type in Jet Entertainment tonight and you'll find it. And he's like, all right. About 2.5 hours later, he calls me back. He'd watched both episodes, and he's excited for episode 3, which comes out tomorrow. And he thought it was hilarious how we were making fun of him. He even started having more ideas that we didn't mention about it. He's like, "Well, see, my defibrillator." He goes, "I'll have to hand you the phone, so when I'm ready to go, you have to tell them. You have to type in a code that tells them to turn my defibrillator off. It's all handled through Bluetooth." And I'm like, "Oh." I don't even have to take you to the theme park now. Just give me the.
Hey, Toby.
Yeah.
July 27th, 1990. What were you doing?
I was probably at the local swimming pool because I was on school break between. No, you know what? I was doing 2-a-days for football.
Mm-hmm.
That was my junior year, or
Okay.
my
So you weren't in Bosnia.
freshman year. What's that?
You were not in Bosnia then?
No.
There you go. I was wrong.
Yeah, there we go.
Y'all heard it here. Y'all heard it here, folks.
Heard it here.
Zac was wrong.
He was wrong. He was wrong. Hey, at least he man's up to it. All right. So, anybody else have anything exciting going on? For anybody that didn't know, the Jet podcast is all over YouTube. Like he said, it's Richie and his brother, who's a stand-up comedian.
We're now on Spotify, Apple Music, and Amazon Music as well.
You'll be able to find that anywhere.
He said Apple Music. I swear to God, he said Applebee's. Like, I'm like, you guys are fucking going to Applebee's?
Yeah.
We're on Applebee's.
Maybe your center picture will be fucking centered then.
I know, right?
God
Trust me,
damn, that fucking drives me crazy.
What you can't see is there's a giant, huge beam that goes down the middle, and for some reason they decided to hang the pictures up where they could have just gone. They could have gone down 3 inches, bro.
Yeah,
and made them even, and I'm like,
it's pretty.
They
pretty
just
tough.
knew that I'd be watching. That's all.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
this guy right here.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's it.
Just gave you guys a follow, turn on notifications, auto download, all that good stuff.
Everybody else should do the same thing. If it's so easy that Zac can do it, you guys have no excuse.
Yeah, and I was wrong 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, maybe wrong, but you may
Basically,
right.
the gist of it is my brother's a stand-up comedian. He's an aspiring stand-up comedian. He actually has book shows coming up soon. I'm excited about, and it's just a podcast where we go over subjects that he wants to. We just shoot the shit, laugh. We even sometimes show videos. There's one. It's going to be episode 4 that I'm ready for Toby to see, because if he hasn't seen this video of this lady, he's going to love it.
Okay.
He's already seen the vegan teacher.
You're going to like. No, it's It's this lady going off in a subway. It's hilarious.
I Interesting.
It's hilarious. She's ordering politely. She's very nice, polite, but she is mad at another employee there. And she goes back and forth between cussing him out and going, yes, honey, I need some more lettuce. And man, not so much. The more, fuck you. Like, it's hilarious, dude.
My brain went Subway, like an actual means of travel.
Yeah, I thought
No,
that
like the sandwich place.
Yeah, I guess
It's
that's
good
what happens
stuff.
when New York people think Subway. I guess I don't think sandwich, but either way, yeah. Cool. And Brandon, you know, congrats. You got some stuff. Obviously, we don't have to talk about it, but you know, things are going to be going pretty good and hectic for you. Yeah.
Moving about 4 hours away, starting a new job early August. So I've had this whole summer so far, and next month where I'm not working. It's like high school again. It's like summer off. So probably
your body's so sick of you not working that it's actually making you sick.
My body or my wife?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
But no,
you own both of them.
Oh,
Just kidding. I love you, Tori. Stop. Don't listen.
why? That's his wife. You gonna share a wife?
I mean, I love Brandon's wife too.
Okay.
I'm not going to say what I was going to say, but we'll continue on. I'll show you a little bit of respect. Exciting times. We'll see what happens in the next few weeks, but hopefully closing on a house in Hastings, the town we're going to be moving back to, and starting a new job. So I'm just really excited.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. And I don't really have any exciting shit. I know Zac doesn't really have anything exciting. Toby, you have anything exciting since Tuesday?
I've got nothing.
Yeah. But
Toby has a new hat.
it's a different hat. It's not new. Clearly,
It's different hats. Not new. Yeah, this is like one of the original ones that I wore.
a lot of times when he's wearing that hat, there's less facial hair. Sometimes occasional glasses I've seen in there.
Glasses, huh?
The chin would be shaved sometimes. And a lot of different looks with that hat. But it does. I was kind of just staring at it earlier when you were talking. I'm like, man, I see a lot of old videos in that hat running through my brain right now. And some of them recently have been popped back up on social media. Cool to see.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I had a company get a hold of me for the video of Peyton sliding and peeling off this on the repost because I think it just hit 1 million views, and no payment, no nothing. They're like, oh, we'd like to feature this on our thing. I was like, they're like, all you gotta do is let us say, you know, you still own all the rights and everything like that. I'm like, and they're like, you know, we just like to host it. We just need you to say yes or no. And I'm like, I follow your page. You know, yeah, you're more than welcome to use it. You know, I hope you make a lot of money off of my video, and not since you're not willing to pay me for it.
Yeah, it's funny how that works, right?
I have something I'd like to share in regards to a company reaching out to me and wanting to do. I shared this on Facebook, not publicly but privately. Matt, you probably saw it.
I can't really get on Facebook at this moment, but I'll check it out in a couple days.
Maybe
that's a good conversation we can have afterwards. But received a brief and they had a couple bullet points. It says who we are targeting. Doesn't matter what they were selling or what they were trying to pitch because we weren't going to align anyways. But they're targeting young people who are bored, 18 to 35, seniors 60 plus who are lonely,
Same.
and married men who want to release from always having to be strong.
Same.
I got a good chuckle at that last one.
That's very
What does it even mean?
specific.
What is this? What is this company?
Is it Roman swipes? Is it Blue Chews?
He's like, I mean, can we play one of those games where, you know, the people listening, you can't see you shake your head if we get it right? Or you give us a signal?
Yeah, we'll put you backstage.
What can I not say because I don't want to get you in trouble, Matt, on the current app that we're on?
I mean, I feel like all the apps are out for me right now, but as long as I think we don't show videos, I think we're okay. I don't know at this point anymore with this. I don't know what social media is anymore.
It's crazy, man. It's great. Things have changed so much in a year.
Mm-hmm. Big time.
I was thinking back. I'm like, my God, 2021 was 2 years ago. And since then, I've not really been on the app that we're currently on. The one from across the seas. In quite put a lot of time in it. like I used to since late 21, early 22. The videos being taken down, the constant, barrage of why is this video being taken down? Why is my live being taken down? This, that, and the other. Just looked elsewhere. And then eventually last year was like, none of this shit matters. Why am I not just hanging out with my dudes on Thursday and hanging out with my other friends the other times of the week when I have time?
Yep.
That's what I should be doing. So.
Yep. I mean, just bros being bros, hanging out and, talking, but even potential bro codes.
Just bros being dudes.
Bro codes. I'm excited for this one. I know it's a terrible segue, but either way, we spun the wheel last week, and I think it was Toby had the suggestion. Let's talk bro codes, and here we are, bro codes. I threw something out randomly in the community that people were voting on. It was just 4 random bro codes that just kind of popped in my brain and popped around the internet and stuff. So I threw it on there just as a fun way to kind of get the voting and stuff going like that. But I feel like for anybody that doesn't really know what a bro code is, I actually picked up the book Bro Code that was by what's his face from what the fuck's that show? Barney Stinson.
Oh, Neil Patrick Harris?
Yeah, on the show, whatever. How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah,
How I Met Your Mother. They actually, him and
Barney
Matt
Stinson.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh,
I'm glad you listened. But either way, bro code. It's kind of what like bro friend etiquette that men and people just kind of follow, whether it's a subculture or anything else. I know it was popularized by Barney, I think, but it's just something I think that we all just kind of knew at some point. It's kind of like, I think back in the day with the Nintendo cartridge, we didn't have the internet to just know you blow on the cartridge. It's just something that we just kind of know and naturally come up with. But the one I think that is the most popular, at least in our area, so I'm curious, your guys' else was obviously the old saying, bros before hoes. Maybe you're not allowed to say that anymore, but I know that one was pretty popular and thrown around here a lot.
For sure. So that a very high school thing. Because now, like, imagine any of us going up to our significant others being like, oh, sorry, honey. Got to go to the bowling alley because the bros are there. The bros are at the bowling. I don't care that it's Tuesday. I don't care that the kids need baths or whatever. Going to the bowling alley. Sorry. See you later.
I mean, if I really wanted to, I would. I'd just be like, hey, I'm going to the bowling alley.
You have older kids, though.
I did it with younger kids.
No.
Bros before hoes. We've all heard it, of course, whether it's, the old people like Toby or the rest of us in various, variations, iterations in high school and junior high. But wouldn't you say that's kind of the cornerstone to the entire concept of what the bro code or bro codes are or is?
For sure. I would say so. Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of it does stem from that concept, but I have to imagine that there's some other ones out there. And like I said, I didn't even realize that, the Barney Stinson and Neil Patrick Harris or whatever, and them came out with a book. I bought it today. I got found it for $4, $4 buy. So it would be pretty cool to read that, which I don't have it now, but there's a lot of lists and stuff out there. But again, yeah, I'm curious, Toby, Richie, and then obviously Zac, if there's ones that you would consider that are even popular or potentially that maybe some shit we never even heard of.
I think
kind of think of the Jeff Foxworthy one. Jeff Foxworthy talks about, a good friend and brother. The bro code kind of thing is, it's not somebody who will come and bail you out of jail. If they're that good of a bro and that good of a friend, they're in jail with you, sitting beside you, smoking a cigarette, going, "She didn't look like no cop, did she?"
Yep.
Oh, absolutely. Like it was, we ran into the same exact thing. You're at the bar with a bunch of your buddies, and one of your friends gets into some shit. You back him up. The thing is, do you kick his ass as well after everything's said and done, so that he understands you just got us in a bunch of shit for no reason? Yep. Or do you all go and high five and have a beer?
I'm definitely at least punching him in the dick.
Yeah,
if anything,
dick punch, then beer.
Yep,
for sure.
And obviously, you have the the wingman. I think would have to fall under the bro code as well. You know, sometimes you have to. A saying around here was sometimes you just, and obviously it's a much different approach to this. But one thing that was thrown around here a lot was, "I'm going to jump on the grenade for you on this one, bud," which was always code for, well, you're obviously going to get the good one. I'm going to take the ugly one. So I mean, that's
Or you could flip that on its head and you can go hog hunting.
That was a thing. That thing down that your guys' way?
No?
Not down here. The
Explain.
military actually at one point in time got exposed for that. And as soon as I found out, they're like, yeah, they found out that there's this giant group. Like, I mean, it was like a couple hundred guys had like a pool, like a betting pool, everybody put in money. And, you had to have your proof to come back with. And I'm like, who's the bro that broke that fucking code? Because that's a dead man walking.
Oh,
yeah, shunned.
Yep.
So we're on the same path here. How do you guys feel about the restrained Richard, or as it's more commonly referred to, the cock block?
oh,
Oh, are you talking about on the opposite end of the spectrum?
Yes.
You're talking about a guy jumping.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about having a guy's back and being a wingman, but what about then alternatively not being a cock block?
Yeah,
Listen,
the guy that's always coming up when you're talking to a hot chick and he's like, hey, did you get that cream for that rash you had? Just, walks away, that guy.
Okay, first of all right, so there's two different cock blocks. You got one that's just like that.
Mm-hmm.
That was my brother.
Notice how he said
I-
was, everybody.
Okay,
He doesn't have a brother anymore.
Okay, all right. So my like third day of 7th grade. Okay, now first of all, I want to remind everybody, I was 3'8" in 7th grade.
So is my 4-year-old.
3'8". So I'm sitting there talking to this girl that I've known for a while, and I'm talking to her at her locker, and my brother was in 9th grade, which back in those days you had junior high, senior high, right? So
yeah.
And my brother walks up to me, and I'm not even joking. He like bends over, looks at me in the face, and he goes, "Hey there, little guy. Does your mom know that you're at school?"
Outstanding.
And then just walks away with all of his friends. I was like,
you motherfucker! Oh, wow. What?
See, I'm kind of alien to this whole conversation because I was what objectively some counselors at a state school in Rochester, New York would call an alcoholic in the younger parts of my life. And I would be like, yeah, I'm going to go out, get a box of condoms. And you're like, yeah, I'm going to get so much pussy. And then you just get really drunk and run into a field. And then you're the guy that gets lost. So I never often.
He would run through the cornfield. He'd run through the cornfield backwards.
Yeah, no, we need to establish something before you. I'm going to let you continue. All right. But we're going to establish something here real quick. You said that happens often.
Happened.
Okay. Happened often. All right.
Yeah.
So then you don't get to sound all pissy at the fact that somebody might have considered you. You were an alcoholic.
You cockblocked yourself.
That's just
no. There's
labels.
no. If you got that drunk,
There was when he was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
you were an alcoholic.
There was
It
a lot
wasn't
of
just alcohol.
when he was alcohol.
But yeah, so I was the
I don't think
lost.
that helps
I guess
the
if there's
case.
a bro code that used to apply to me, it was like no man left behind. But you couldn't find me, so I always got left behind. I was not taking care
That's
of
on
like
you,
George
bro.
Bush.
And-
That was kind of on you.
And you were
Yeah.
then cock blocking all of your friends because they were spending all this time finding drunk Zach. And they were
No,
like, this
they
mother-
spent
Yeah.
0 time finding drunk Zach.
Good.
They
You
knew
didn't
I
keep
was
your
fine.
buddy system.
Here's the thing. Zach's
they
the
knew I was
friend
good.
that everybody has a discussion about before you go out. Hey, guys, we all know at some point in time, Zach's
Yeah.
going to fucking take off.
Yep.
So we'll keep an
That's
eye
why
on
Zach
him
has to
until he
drive
gets
himself
so
here.
far. Yeah, we're going to keep an eye on him until he gets so far gone. Fuck it, guys. We're just enjoying our night. He's just going to, we'll find him naked in the cornfield tomorrow. Like, we'll
Well, so
figure
the
it
good
fuck
thing
out.
is that you go to lizard brain so fast with that level and speed of consumption that the lights go out super fast, and I ended up in like 1 of 5 places depending on where I was, and minus one time where I just woke up on a bench, and that was scary because I didn't know where I was. But
It's funny because I can picture him just stupid drunk, passed out with a box full of condoms that were outdated about 6 months ago because he's been so drunk he's never even
Yeah.
actually opened them, except for the one time where he jerked off into one because he was like, fuck it.
might as well.
And that's probably why he has a plethora of kids. Plethora is not the right word. A bunch of kids because he's just like, fuck it.
Yep.
Has anybody ever had somebody try to cock block them? Like somebody that you don't even know, but you're talking to a girl and you see him try to slide in and try to act all
yeah.
smooth. and you watch him get denied, and it just fucking brings you so much joy.
Yes, it's pretty rewarding at that point. Or like you said, or it kind of flips on them sometimes. Maybe you're having a great conversation, this person tries to come in and steal the conversation, then it's like, excuse me, I'm talking to this fucking guy, who's it, you know what I mean? And then they get pissy with you, and
or they look at you and they're like, do you know who this guy is? I'm like, I got no fucking idea who this dude is. And she's like, well, bye.
What about
you always want to just when that guy when he walks away, you just want to just kind of give him that pat in the back and be like, good game, champ, nice try.
I've
just
done it.
Add that extra insult to it and be like, nice try, champ.
All right, so
Good
I've
game.
done this to people. Angel and I used to go to the bar together, and like I would sit there playing cornhole most of the night with my buddies, and she'd be kind of chilling out and talking with some of the girls and some of the guys that we're all mutual friends with, and there'd always be at least one or two guys that would go and flirt with her, and she was like, do you get mad by it? I'm like, no, I keep my eye on it, but I don't get mad by it. And then they'd bring her a drink, and I'd walk up and I'd be like, babe, did you get this for me? She's like, no, he got it for me. I was like, you don't drink this? She goes, no, I know you do. I was like, oh, thanks, man. And I walk off.
That is fucking classic.
Oh yeah, Tori and I used to do it at a bar in Brockport. Brandon's got something to say.
I've got a question. I know we're talking bro code, so I kind of want to change it up a little bit, kind of keep it rolling. And I hope this isn't playing too tightly or too closely to anybody's past experiences. I don't know that it has, so I don't know that's the case. But what if you catch a bro's wife or girlfriend cheating? Do you have to tell them every time?
You got to tell them.
Fuck yes, 100%.
You got to fucking tell them.
100%. Yeah.
Oh, I'm 100%.
As long as you know, like you know,
that's where my loyalty lies, man.
Yep.
But now here's the flip side of it. You know where I'm going with it.
What if his wife's cheating on
tell her
you?
if you know your bro's cheating on her?
I mean, I've been in that instance with another friend, and I had his back, but I did tell him, I was like, dude, this is not right what you're doing.
Yeah,
I want you to know I got your back because we're bros, but this ain't right, fam.
So see that's the difference. Is that's exactly what I was gonna say. You don't tell her, but you sure as fuck tell him, hey, first of all, if you were a real fucking brother to me, you wouldn't fucking put me in this situation by making me privy to this or fucking be a witness to it. Don't put me in that position, because I'm telling you right now, if she asks me, I'm fucking telling her. I'm not going to volunteer it, but I'm telling her. So either you tell her, or eventually she's going to be like, Toby, I want you to be honest with me. I have a suspicion. Is he cheating on me? I'm going to have to look her straight in the eyes and be like, yeah. I told him to talk to you about it. You know what I mean? Like,
what if it's like a girl bro? You know what I mean? Like she's one of the bros. She's a girl who's married to your bro, and she's became a girl bro. Or maybe they were childhood friends. They got married at a young age. You're equally close with both of them. I'm throwing out a weird scenario. Then what do you do?
See,
listen. There's no such. Okay, first of all, there's no such fucking thing. There's no such thing. Girls, I hate to burst your bubble here. You don't have any best friend.
He's about to go Steve Harvey on y'all's butts.
You don't. You don't. That's just a guy that's waiting on the side for something to fucking happen so he can finally jump in there. Yeah, he's going to sit there and he's going to talk to you. Yeah, talk to you about your day and shitty people and things like that. And he's going to find stuff in common. But I fucking promise you, he's just waiting. And if he's a mutual friend of yours and your man's, he's only friends with your man's to be with you eventually.
He's waiting for a hole in the defense to split the safeties.
Yep.
So we penetrate you deep.
And take it right up the a-hole.
Type of man to have around your relationship, ladies. I am fucking telling you.
Yeah. Yep. The knowing all of
unless
your
he's gay,
secrets,
then obviously you're good. You're good.
Yep.
Every woman.
You have to
listen. Every woman, every person. I'm going to be honest here. Every person needs a flamboyant gay man as one of their friends. It is the greatest thing in the world. For one, they don't give a fuck about anything they're saying. True. They don't give a shit if it hurts your feelings. Their stories are the best. And they're so animated when they talk. Oh, it's great. I still remember the name of
some of my favorite people.
Dude. I still remember the name of the guy that we were friends with in Washington State, man. Oddly enough, his name was Peter, but fucking awesome. This guy was awesome. He was. Yep. I would look forward to him coming over. I'm like, here we go. Something fucking crazy's happened, and I'm going to hear all about it.
And if you're single, they are fantastic wing men, wing bros, wing whatever they are. They are fantastic in your corner. But yeah, no, I definitely agree.
I got a question for you guys again. Toby, hypothetically speaking, I've never met you personally. We've spoken off the record. We're friends, of course. But I've never met you and your wife personally in person. If I were to, and we were, say I moved to where you live and we became friends, fast friends, but I found Angel annoying. Do I keep it to myself? And wife, it's different, I guess. But girlfriend, boyfriend situation.
No, even wife, bro. Yeah, no, you tell me.
Okay.
you tell me. Listen, I remember. Okay, so I've told plenty of my friends, I can't fucking stand. Dude, I'm just telling you right now, I cannot fucking stand your wife. Either I tell them she's just a fucking bitch, or I say she's annoying as shit, or if she fucking laughs around me one more time, I'm gonna fucking wrap her head in plastic. Like, fuck this woman. I cannot stand my brother's wife. Cannot fucking stand her.
And we got her backstage, everybody.
Yeah, no, I don't care if she hears it or not. Okay, first of all, my brother is 16 months older than me. She is younger than me, just by a couple of months. But cannot stand her. She's a very everything needs to be my way, very judgmental type of individual, one of those kind of people. And the last time I went to go see my brother, we were just taking a drive, and I'm trying to remember where we were going. We ended up going out to eat or something like that. And I told him, he just looked at me, he goes, just fucking behave. Which I think is hilarious because my brother sometimes acts like he can't stand his own wife. But, you know, that's just they've been married so long. It's probably just that, you know, you're stereotypical, like the Al Bundy type of thing. Like, I can fuck with her, but nobody else can.
Yeah.
And she said something to me in the car. And it just immediately, I was like, and I just kind of held it in. And we walked. Oh, we were going to my my nephew's soccer game. And we got out of the car, and my brother walks around the side of the car to me. I was like, I can't fucking stand her. And he goes, hey, it's my wife. I was like, doesn't mean I have to fucking like her. And it was just the most uncomfortable that I'd ever been around my brother for the rest of the day. Because he just you could tell it bothered him that I said something, but hey, I got to tell you, man, if you're my friend and your wife or your girlfriend bothers the shit out of me, I got to tell you, and I'm going to tell you the reason why you tell your friend, because he's going to wonder why you guys don't hang out as much.
Yep.
100%.
I have a buddy like
Brandon
that too.
Suddenly moves closer to me and we hang out a couple of times and then we don't hang out for like another 2-3 months. I'm going to wonder, did I do something wrong? No, that he needs to be like, hey man, love you to death, bro, but I cannot fucking stand your wife. I'd be like, fair enough. I'll come to you from now on. Yes. Okay. Sweet.
Yeah. I have a buddy that way, but the only difference is I let his wife know to her face that I don't like her. I can't stand her. She's one of the few people I've actually called a cunt to their face, because that's not normally something I would normally say to just some person. But she's just hateful. She's just one of those hateful, mean people, has nothing positive to say. And to be honest with you, isn't something that, somebody who needs to be talking smack. I mean, she doesn't have a real job. She lives in the slums. She's not much to look at, but she'll sit there, and every time she'll see me, it's always something. Oh, there they go.
There they go.
It's always something. One time she was like, you need to shave your beard. You look stupid with the beard and stuff like that. And I was like, you need to learn how to apply makeup, for God's sake, because the rest of us have to look at you. Shut up. And then she'll sit there and she'll be like, what's wrong with your hair? Your hair is stupid. And I'm like, fix your eyes. Look at me when you're talking to me.
Oh, does she have blue eyes?
No,
She got lazy. She's doing this action.
Yeah, one eye blue.
One of the
way,
most
other
hateful
blue another.
people talking crap about how everybody is how stupid they are, and it looks like Quasimodo with cross eye.
You just go, hey, over here.
Oh, I usually just look at my buddy, and I'm like, Chris, you better get your wife. You better get your wife. Can't stand that lady. She knows I can't stand her.
Yeah, that's that's a tough one. I'm thankful. It's funny that you say that because I was just chatting with somebody recently, and they were having the same thing. It was couldn't stand the woman, and they wonder why they never hang out.
Yeah, and
they tiptoe around it.
Don't go there.
Yeah, they tiptoe around it, and I think, like Toby said, just fucking tell them, Richie, just tell them. Don't tiptoe around it.
No,
that's what real friends do.
We talked about this before as well. Let's just recover it since we are talking bro code. Let's talk about bathroom fucking etiquette.
I thought you were just gonna say let's talk about bathroom fucking.
Yo, you guys ever Rentos?
You guys ever plow in a bathroom?
Fucking here the glory hole. No, let's So first things first, let's talk about this. You walk into a bathroom, there's like one other guy in there. Do you fucking say anything to him?
I don't talk to people in public.
This question.
I typically am not
people in public anyway, so
I don't even look at people in the eye in the bathroom. Fam.
Oh man, I thrive off making people uncomfortable.
How's it going?
I'm so close to getting stabbed in public, like it's not even funny.
Dude,
my wife is so lucky that she stays in the car most of the times places because I can't. I'm so rough with people.
The number of people that I've walked into a bathroom while they're at the sink, and for whatever reason, they feel that's the moment to get in this random lengthy conversation with, like, I'm walking to the urinal and they're still talking. And I'm like
with you?
No.
Like they're trying to talk with you?
Talking from while they're like washing their hands. Like they just got done at the urinal and I'm walking by. They're like, hey, what's going on? I was like,
Okay.
And I walked to the urinal and they're like, yeah, so, wife and I were here on vacation and blah, blah, blah. And, we were looking around. It's pretty nice around here. I'm fuck, dude.
That's when you just turn and piss on their shoes and be like,
sorry,
do I know you? Like you're peeing on their shoes.
So that's one of my least favorite things in the fucking planet is that right there, that bullshit small talk. Brad Pitt in Fight Club says they're single serving friends. We don't need to be anything more than that. We don't need to enrich this conversation. And I can almost guarantee you, if a therapist were to dive deep enough into that specific part of my psyche, they would find out that I hate that so much. That's why I'm so incredibly rude and uncomfortable to people in public. Like, because I just want to avoid that conversation entirely. Like the urinal conversation, I'll just walk in, look somebody dead in the eye, be like, man, I almost didn't make it. And then I'll just take a piss. Or I'll be like,
but then you're opening yourself up for a conversation. If you just stare at first. Yeah, you just go to the urinal.
I don't know, man. For me, it just must be my presence or how I say it or what, but it doesn't. Like as long as I bang, I cut to it. Or like if somebody's getting chatty with me at a urinal, I'll act like I'm looking over and be like, hey man, it looks nice today. Good hang. And it just stops. I don't know. I cut to the chase first. I say something that would throw them off their level, and they don't want to talk to me anymore. And I can just take a shit at this rest stop in public, get a fucking pretzel, and leave.
Okay. So let's see which one of us here are public social anarchists. You walk into a urinal at we'll say anywhere like rest stop, somewhere busy, somewhere that know people are going to be coming in and out all the time, but you go in and there happens to be nobody there. There's 3 urinals. Which one do you take?
The one on the left.
Is there anybody at any of them?
Center or the closest to the door?
I take the closest to the door.
I go left.
What'd you say, Richie?
Nobody's at them right now, right?
Nobody's at them. You walk in, there's nobody in the bathroom, but you know that there's definitely going to be somebody coming in shortly, probably well before you're done taking a piss, just because it's a very busy place. And you've seen people walking out of there, in and out of there all day.
You take the one closest to the door.
Yeah. Or with the smallest puddle.
I don't want anybody between me and the door.
See, I go farthest.
Or you fuck with everybody and you go in the middle and make them move.
But then there's 100% somebody's going to stand next to you.
You are 100% a fucking sociopath if you fucking choose the center. 100%.
I just want to do it now. I want to do it and wait till somebody comes in and just go, choose wisely.
But you also have to have your pants at your ankle.
Oh, you gotta baby boy it.
Yep, pants right on the ankle. Because at least a lot of the rest stops around here, the first one is always that kid's toilet that's a little bit smaller, or it'll go all the way to the floor. So I try to avoid that one.
See, I got these short, stubby legs, so it's fine. Like, yeah, I'm shooting a little high in the bowl, but it's fine. Like, I'm not missing. I also though, like, I as a person that has a tendency to have to poop urgently. If I walk into a bathroom just to take a piss, there's 3 urinals, no dividers, and the middle one is the only one empty, and I'm just going onesies. I'm not going to potentially inconvenience somebody that may also have to poop urgently. I use the middle urinal. And if these guys have a fucking problem with it, like, I don't know, man. Just fuck off.
What does your urinal choice have to do with pooping urgently?
Because I don't want to use the stall to piss to avoid the center urinal, because then I don't want to inconvenience a person that urgently has to poop. Because I've been in that situation before. Man, I got to shit. I got to go. Bust in there. Natch. There's a handicap stall, normal stall. Both are taken. And if I look down and your fucking pants are down, your toesies are facing the wall, dude.
We should probably move on from the bathroom talk.
We're
not going to get the mic back for a little bit. You guys, I didn't realize that your bathroom problems were that
I've got
serious.
I'm sorry. I hate to do this to you, Matt, but I've got one more for everybody.
I mean, I'm looking out for him. I don't care. I could talk about shitting and pissing and pooping all the time. We're dudes, but
same scenario.
Okay.
Right. You gotta go to the bathroom.
Empty bathroom.
Go in. Empty bathroom. You got 3 stalls in there. 2 normal
Handicap
stalls
stall.
and a handicap stall.
Handicap
Which one are you
stall.
taking?
Handicap stall.
Handicap
stall.
Give me my
It's ADA.
space.
Do you see how fucking big I am, dude? I'm not fitting in that little ass fucking stall. Kidding me?
I have a wide stance while defecating.
See, I typically I'll look at the non-handicap stall and just kind of look, and sometimes they're not used as much. No, I don't. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'll look for some feet or something real quick. But you look, and I'm gonna potentially go there if it doesn't. I feel like it doesn't get used as much. So for me, I'm like, yeah. Do you guys check to make sure there's toilet paper though while you're in there before, or do you just?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No, I check.
We just had somebody from my work recently get released because he was taking pictures of people's feet while he was in the bathroom.
As a joke or serious?
He did it. Well, so here's the thing. He got in trouble for taking a picture of people's feet, right? Like he was in the stall, somebody else was in the stall next to him. He took a photo. He got in trouble because he took a picture of somebody's feet. But what he was doing was he took a picture and he posted it in the Teams chat. And he was like, hey, OPSEC is a thing, you guys. How about we don't just have our badges laying out so that everybody can see them? Because the person had their badge on their belt loop.
Under what? Yep.
And I'm like, but you're not going to be able to do anything with that. They're magnetic badges. It's not like you're going to snag that without without him knowing. Like,
yeah, it's on his belt.
And all it shows is your picture and your name. That's all it is. So, I mean, I was like, bro, take it down. And he's like, no. He's like, report me. I was like, I'm not going to. I'm just telling you, take it down. Because somebody said, please take that down.
I mean,
and then he goes, no, report me. And then somebody goes, I'm not going to do that. I'm just asking you to take it down. And then our supervisors saw it. And all of a sudden they were like, hey, don't say anything to the team yet. This guy's been let go. I'm like, you have my curiosity. You got to tell me why. And that was it.
So to bring that back to bro code, though, I would have asked the guy sidebar, hey, man, are you trying to get fired? Like, do you want to work here anymore and you can't just quit? You trying to get fired?
Assuming
that's why I did.
Yeah, he did that. And that's assuming that they're friends, that they're bros. I mean,
true. Yeah. Like, cause I mean, if like, I don't know, man, just if somebody just doesn't have the stones to quit, I don't know, man. Sometimes it's best for everybody. Like I've been in work situations where I've looked at friends that are mine that I've worked with, and I've taken them off to the side, and I've just been like, bro, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, what are we doing? What are you accomplishing? You're getting pissed off. I'm sure your blood pressure's through the friggin' roof. You're drinking a bunch. You're not happy at home. I get it. We all need a paycheck. but why don't you just look for another job? Why
Hopefully
don't you just leave?
Hopefully, you didn't have that conversation in the bathroom. It would have went a much different way.
The one time in particular that I'm thinking it was one time was in a hallway and the other time was in a bathroom. I mean, but it was, I mean, whatever. And I'm just like, dude, come on. Like, do you
guys
want me
all
to
have-
fucking file a complaint?
Have you guys all made workplace bros where that's the only time that you hang out with them, but you like really close at work?
I had this one friend that
Like
was a
sad
really
when
good
they
friend
leave,
at
like,
work.
"Fuck."
See, I had a friend that was a really good friend at work. And then eventually I started doing a podcast with him on Thursdays.
And now we don't hang.
Don't touch him. Don't touch him. Don't touch him.
That's weird. Bro code. Don't touch another man in a small studio.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's those people that don't know that we're in the same studio. Now they know. They know.
I mean, it does kind of look like we're in different studios.
Doesn't the same can, sorry,
I mean,
in the background.
Not with the background, but
Yeah.
I always forget that you're on Matt's right
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
because you always look like you're on his left every time we shoot.
See, nothing fucked with me more than the first time I walked into the studio and I thought that Matt and Logan had like the typical YouTube podcast setup where they're at like a triangle shaped table and they're like looking at each other. You know what I mean? Like a PTI type desk.
No,
And
yeah,
I
no.
walk in
instead
and
you
it's
just
like a
walk
skinny
into fucking
hallway, and I'm
hallway
like-
closet. Yeah, instead you
Yeah, I'm
walk
like,
into a
oh.
hallway closet that's got like an old school fucking table, 20-inch table in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be
exactly.
weird if we were sharing a table with one camera on there, and then I mean, we have Toby from his state, and Brandon from his state, and Richie from his state. Like, it's like, oh, we're gonna share this one camera real quick, but
Well, I always thought you were shooting over each other's shoulders, or that you just were using a camera like a webcam, like I'm on, like right now, or like you have, like where it's
Like
pointing
one's
at you.
facing him and
Yeah.
the other one's facing the
Yeah.
other one.
Yeah,
But they're facing each other kind of
Hey,
thing.
Zach.
kind of, yeah.
Zach,
Yeah.
bro code. We don't talk about other bros shooting over other bros shooting.
Hey man, as long as it doesn't hit.
hmm.
Okay.
So threesomes.
No. But what I was going to say was this: I was going to convert to the last topic of this, which I think is important from this conversation about bathrooms. In saying, I recall going into a bathroom with my bro, both of us having to rock a piss, and me going to the empty urinal, and in a fit of humor, which you guys have seen happens to me quite often, spontaneously decided to pull my pants all the way to my ankles and sit there and to make him feel awkward.
Yep.
Do you guys prank other bros or make them feel awkward?
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
all the
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
time.
My best friend since childhood, we did it to each other so often that we realized it's fun, and now we team up and we do it together. Like we sit on the same side of the booth at restaurants if it's just us going out to eat. Like we'll order each other's meals. We actually unintentionally got matching wedding rings, and me and him, and then both of our wives, we both had to go get like ring sizings done because we got married 7 days apart from each other. And my wife knows. And
Who gave this guy a fucking mic? Holy shit! Hold on, we're gonna retitle this one "The Producer Zac Therapy Session Podcast."
This is the least.
Episode 190.
This is the least
5.
therapy episode that we've had.
But you know what? I get what Zach's talking about though, because your best bro, and Richie can attest to this because he and I did this at a meetup. The best bros will work together to fuck with everybody else around them. People that are just have no idea what's going on. They've come up with a plan, and now they're just doing something intentional that is going to catch the attention or the eye of other people around them to go, what the fuck? Like that's bro.
And I think the best part is when you said come up with a plan, I think it's just a natural organic plan. Like it doesn't even need planning. It just happens because
Oh, we
your
didn't.
brains just
discuss it
fucking sync
beforehand.
together. And
Yeah, we didn't discuss
Yeah.
it. You just start going.
It was
If you
an
go
understanding.
50%, your bro goes 50%, and then you both go 100%.
you just
Like,
feed
fuck it,
off
man,
each
we're doing
other.
it.
And
Yep.
I want to bring up a very important part about the bro code that we haven't talked about before we end the hour. And maybe you've touched on it, but I want to make sure we really get into this deep. Do you or have you, give me your experiences and what is the bro code with hooking up with a bro's ex?
I've never done it, never will.
Ask permission first.
And I live in a very small town. It's just for me. There's the old saying, plenty of
You said
fish
hookup
in the
though.
sea.
You're not mean. That don't mean you're trying to start a relationship with.
Both
Hookup
for
to me
me.
means different.
Yeah.
I asked.
Yeah.
It's
One
yes,
may lead to the
definition.
other, but you know.
So I would say 99% of the time I would say you don't do it. But if I didn't do it, I wouldn't be married.
All right.
There it is.
So
Listen,
it was kind of a double cross because I have a very good friend, and yes, I still consider him a good friend, who was the epitome of cock blocker. This guy was Mr. Steal Your Girl. If he found out that you had an interest in somebody, he would just go after it.
Whoa. What happened?
I don't know.
We
Who's
just
this?
I don't know.
The simulation is breaking.
Holy shit, the
Simulation
Matrix was
broke
like
for a moment.
that was
But
wild.
the thing is he dated he knew that I had interest in Angel, who is now my wife. But also knew that that interest was going to be put on hold because I was going in the military. I didn't want it to be a long distance relationship and things like that. So he went out with her. And he backed out of going into the military, which I thought was hilarious because my wife's father was the acting sergeant major of the MEP station. So he backed out of going to the military. And he got to, and my father-in-law was like, oh. But they ended up breaking up, and I ended up dating her. What was it, babe? 3 years later.
Like a hawk.
Shit.
Well, she pursued me though, which is, I know everybody has a hard time believing, but ladies, I'm a catch. What do you want me to say?
Yeah, David, same. No.
Would you allow a bro to date your sister?
I've had conversations with these bros, fam. No.
Absolutely.
I don't have one,
not.
thankfully.
You are talking to your sister before you're even talking to them. You're like, do not go out with it. I know everything that this guy has said, done. No.
Would you let a bro date your brother?
What?
Throwing it out. You know, we all have that bro. We talked about the gay friend. And
hey, if that's what
at that
my
double
brother ends
standard
up
we
being
have.
into, fine. I'm fine with it. I
That's
don't
what, you
care.
gonna date the sister? No. You gonna date your brother? Yeah.
He's a man. He can handle it.
Yeah. There you go. I think we're just much more defensive over our sisters.
Well, because we know
my
our
sister's
sisters.
older, and I used to be defensive about the people she dated.
It's
You
just
got
a
a bunch of
natural
sisters,
instinct.
right, Zach?
One.
Oh yeah, I got a shit ton of them.
Have you ever had to talk? You haven't had to talk to a friend to your sister though, right?
No, thankfully, because there's the closest is 8 years between me and a sister. So
That'd be a tough fucking conversation.
that well, it'd be a very short conversation. There wouldn't be much talking. There'd be a lot of ass whooping. But
So, bro, that
jail
12-year-old
time.
sister of yours, she available?
yeah, I'd be like,
Come here,
hey,
motherfucker."
why don't you come up? Why don't you come up on my porch and act like you're gonna punch me? Yeah. No,
So that's easy for you. And
yeah. Now that being said, now that most of my sisters are of age,
still weird.
I wish one of them in particular, I love her to pieces.
You only love one?
Oh no, I love them all. I love them all to death. I do wish somebody would take this one sister off my hands because she's a fucking handful to be the main source of her attention at times. And I love her to death. I know she's not watching this because she's off doing hood rat shit. But yeah.
But not a bro. Even a bro, you'd be like, take. But I feel like that would be tough for your bro.
You're not gonna.
I mean, that's his fault. Like
you give him the warning. You're like, go ahead, my guy. You just
go
fucking
ahead.
be ready.
Like, shoot your shot, Wayne Gretzky. But just so you know, she's like fucking yeah, just go for it. Now that being also being said, I am madly in love, bro wise, with my eldest sister's boyfriend.
Oh, thank God. I didn't know where that was going.
Yeah,
that was a roller coaster.
He's one of my favorite people, and he might even be watching. He might be ghosting right now. He never comments, but he gets the link every week. So hey,
Okay.
Diesel, if you're out there,
Yeah, Diesel. He's madly in love. I feel like you could have worded it a little better, but
you know,
No.
Diesel gets the link, and I'm pretty sure he's given plenty.
hey, whatever.
So let's answer this last one real quick. So I can kind of help along with what I already said. Is first of all, fuck no, you're not. My sister's not dating one of my bros. She's not. I don't care if it's my best fucking friend in the world. It ain't happening. If I were to find out, first of all, that they did it behind my back, and secondly, found out that it was a one night stand.
Oh,
not only would we not be bros anymore, he'd be in the fucking hospital.
See, I think that's such a double standard.
This is back to
your sister banged your bro too. Like,
no, listen, I just want to say that it's been back-to-back shows that a Brandon has got a giggles. Case of the giggles to end the show. Yes, there is a Brandon.
Just I've been coughing too. With a name like Diesel, he better be giving some back.
Oh shit! There's a lot more jokes. I like it. Fuck.
Do you jump on a grenade for your bro? Oh yeah, no. Oh, just so he can hook up? Yeah, we talked. That was like one of the first things we talked about when we talked about bro code. You always jump on the grenade.
And I run and I'm gone by that point. So
I've jumped on the grenade as a married guy. Just so at the end of the night, after my buddy's already taken off with the other girl, I'm like, she's like, so you want to go back to my place? I'm like, hey, you're a really nice person. I'm married. They're like, well, you were getting me drinks and talking to me all night. I'm like, that's what a friendly person does. I'm from Minnesota. This is just how we treat people. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That doesn't mean I want to have sex with you. We can have a conversation. We're adults, right?
Damn, lady, it doesn't mean I want to fuck you. I'm just talking to you. Christ.
I'm only into women.
Not all men are pigs.
That?
And that's exactly what happened.
Well, it has to go that way because I still got my wife at the house.
Yeah. We're not coming back to my house. Absolutely not. Yeah, my wife is there.
There's no pineapples upside down in any of my decor.
I will tell you, before we hop off here, I will tell you a day that I lost fucking bros. And this is when my wife was pregnant. Okay, you
shouldn't have fucked bros to begin with if you have a wife.
No, we had an agreement. So I used to go to strip clubs all the time when I was single. She got pregnant. We got married. She got pregnant shortly after, and I told her no more. I won't go to the strip clubs anymore. She made me promise her. Had a bunch of guys wanted to go out. They needed a DD. I told my wife, hey, I'm going to take the guys out. We're going to DD. She goes, no fucking strip clubs. I said, okay. And they take me from one place to another. They're trying to look for their group of buddies and can't find them. Come to find out, they're at the strip club.
Mm-hmm.
Drive them to the strip. I was like, well, you guys can figure out another fucking way to get there. And they're like, bro, you said you were going to be our DD. I also told you no fucking strip clubs tonight. So I said, I tell you what, I'll drive you there, but I'm not going in. So we go in. I think you just got taken down on TikTok again.
No, I ended it.
Oh, okay. So we go in. I pull in, and they insist that I go in. I go in, and there's a giant table. There's a giant table. Oh, I'm sorry. This is not a day that I lost, bros. This is the day that I gained, is what I meant.
Okay. Was there a buffet at the strip club?
I would have no idea, because right next to the entrance is the table that they're all sitting at, and there's only one chair available, and it is facing into the corner. So obviously, I take that one. I'm getting, like, the waitress is bringing drinks. I'm not even looking at her. I'm just like, hey, I'm DD. Like, I would hold up my bracelet like this, and I'm just staring at the guy directly across from me. He's like, bro, this is fucking uncomfortable. I'm like, deal with it. I ain't fucking looking that way. I ain't looking that way. I ain't looking anywhere but at your face in that fucking corner. Mm-hmm. You got to take a piss. When you come back, you'll see I'm still staring there.
Yep.
So everything's over. Go home. I walk in the door. For anybody that's had a pregnant wife, the sensory abilities of these women, like, fucking multiply by 100. I get 2 steps in the door. She can smell it. She's like,
well, you were covered in glitter.
No,
he
wasn't. I wasn't covered in anything. I walked in. She goes, you went to the fucking strip club. I was like, babe. And she goes, I can smell it. Dude, she was across the room. And I went, listen. And I tried to explain. She didn't want to hear it. Went to bed, tears in her eyes. A couple of days later, this is what saved my fucking marriage. I'm not joking. A couple of days later, we're having a platoon party at the house. And 2 or 3 of the guys that I was DD for that night were there, and they were bullshitting. And she comes walking by as one of them like kind of grabs me and says, "In this fucking pussy, we go to the strip club. All he does is sits and stares into the corner the entire fucking time we're there. Didn't even turn his head." And she just stopped, looked at me, and I went, like, tried explaining this to you. And she walked off, and I was like, "You guys have no idea what you just did." And they're like, "Dude, I'm sorry. Are you in trouble? Did you not tell her that you went?" I was like, "Oh no, she fucking knew. But she wouldn't listen to me that I did exactly what you just said."
Hell
Saved
yeah.
my fucking life, man.
Oh, that's a bro. That is fucking bro. That's a good one. All right. That's a wrap, as they say in the biz. Appreciate every single one of you. Make sure if you guys want, they all have social medias. Check them all out. Links in the description. All that good stuff. This was a fun Thursday. Oh shit. Do you want me to spin something for next week? I got the wheel open.
Fuck it.
Well, isn't next week our pre-record?
No, 13th. Next week is the 6th. We got one more than a pre-record. Yeah, so we got the 6th. Let's do the thing. I have all of the stuff from last week. I'm just gonna spin it. And we are going to discuss at some point childhood memories. Childhood memories. It was really close to being movie soundtracks, but it's childhood memories. Could be good. Could be wild.
That'll be a good one.
Some fucking weird shit getting said on this fucking next podcast.
I'm looking forward to that.
I
know Toby's got some
next week.
Oof, we got some stuff. Brandon's like, which one?
I'll read portions of my book.
I was gonna say, which chapter are you gonna read?
It's gonna be like chapter 3.
We'll just put you on the big screen, let you read through it. Speaking of that, go check out Abandoned Brandon on Amazon and his website. Maybe I'll even autograph it for you. But either way, all kidding aside, can't thank you guys enough. Thank you. Thanks to everybody that stuck around. Maybe you're just listening to this right now. Can't thank you enough. And so we got. See you next week. Tuesday, we'll be there. Triple T. Might not be TikTok Tuesday, but it's going to have a whole bunch. You've been said we could just call it the show.
the show.
Because it's so dumb that it's going to leave you stuttering at the end of it.
We'll figure something out.
We'll figure it out. It's going to be a good time. But either way, Thursday with this crew, we'll be back. And this is fun. Appreciate you fellas. And I appreciate everybody in the chat. I'm going to press end now.